Of the midway, knocking teams out every Sunday. Fire in our eyes, can't stop our drive. Hit so hard, remind you of 85. We the Bears, monsters of the midway, knocking teams out every Sunday. Fire in our eyes, can't stop our drive. Hit so hard, remind you of 85.
Take a look, Chicago, you can smell it in the air. There's a hungry team called the Soldier Field going nuts, jumping out their chair. Teams rather be anywhere but here. We don't care if it's below zero. Let it talk before the snow, we still gon' break holes. If we win the point fit, we choosing to kick. Cause we got a defense that love to hit. Polarize the link with our smash mouth D's. Slicing up teams like Mike Singletary. Forever repping the seat, making Papa Bear proud. Giving Chicago something to shout about.
We the Bears, monsters of the
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Panda and Grizzly show. I'm Brian the Grizzly here. I got Grant in the building. How you feeling, man?
I'm good. Training camp is coming up.
Yeah, we got training camp. Look, we took off the last 4 weeks because we need to take off a break just like the Bears. But but since we got training camp come up, we know we had a lot of stuff to talk about. We want to address it. We want to kind of go through, get ready for training camp, just like they are, because they're about to come in to camp. So yeah, there's a lot of things we want to go through today. There's a lot of little things I want to talk about, but I want to start off the show talking about what do you think is going to happen at left tackle? We have a left tackle competition that is going to heat up, and I'm excited to see what we're going to get out of Braxton Jones. I don't think I've said it in a while, but I do believe that that Braxton Jones is probably the front runner for this competition. Mm-hmm. And I can see him doing well because he has, as long as he can trust his feet, if he can trust his ankle, he can trust his legs, he can move around. He has all the talent we really need. Especially with Isaac Trapillo now, having recovered for that ruptured patella tendon, which is difficult to come back from. I'm excited to see what we're going to get out of him.
It's funny because, he was the written off guy, especially when Isaac Trapillo's development last year. Mm-hmm. And Braxton came off the bad injury the year before. Mm-hmm. We all counted him out. None of us expected him to re-sign for 1 year. Was it 1 year, $10 million? Nobody expected him to re-sign.
So it's $10 million. It's up to $10 million. It's a $5 million a deal. Well, if he starts, he does well, he could make up to $10 million.
Yeah, and like I said, right now. He's been training. He's training with Armstead in the off season and getting stronger. Like I said, I'm looking forward to see now. I'm excited for him to have this opportunity right now. Unfortunately, at the expense of Isaac Trapillo's injury, mm-hmm. I'm really excited to see how his development came after another full year, probably rest on that leg, mm-hmm. and seeing how he can be a pillar for Caleb Williams' blind side. At the start of the season.
100%. No, I mean, I think that matters a lot. I think Entrepreneur had a great year last year, but
He did. He did.
a patellar tendon is something that you're not going to just walk away from. It's going to be difficult trying to come back off of that injury. That's just a fact. So Braxton Jones has a chance. Jedrick Willis Jr. is something that really, intrigues me. I feel like at his size, he's a former first-round pick. I like the 6'4", 307. He's very similar to Braxton Jones, but he's more aggressive. He's more powerful. And I've always questioned this about Braxton Jones. I don't understand how he's not more powerful at his size. Just me being myself, I feel like I'm stronger than he is, and I don't understand it. Like he's 6'5", 303. Yeah. I'm 6'4", 2 maybe 72, and I feel like I have more power than he does, and it doesn't make any sense because he has all the ability there,
right?
And I don't understand why you see bull rushes and he doesn't have that power, that chucking off power, and I play tight end. What the fuck is wrong with him? I don't know. But if I feel like if he ever could concentrate on his power, on getting stronger in the weight room, that he could be something special, but just he never came out about it. I don't understand why we still have these issues. How do you think this competition is going to go?
I mean, like you said, we've been watching football for a long time. So I think understanding that the mini camp, the OTAs, especially with linemen, defensive lineman, offensive lineman, there's only so much you can really see. You can kind of see the footwork a little bit, but they're not really, doing the more aggressive power moves and all that stuff. So training camp is the big thing that you want to look at when it comes to the linemen. And I think with this competition, a lot of people are writing off Jedrick Willis now because of all the talk's been about Braxton Jones. But I still think Jedrick Willis, he's a first-round talent for a reason. And I think if he had the right – and I think with Roshar as the offensive line coach, that can also bring him to another level. Now, I do think he's probably going to start off with the 2s, maybe in the 3s, just to get his feet wet back together. But I do not think that this competition is as far away from each other as people think it is. I think there's a legitimate competition there.
What about Amagaji? Do you think Kieran Amagaji is even in this competition at all? I mean, is he a cut option? Is he someone at this point in this crowded? I mean, this is a crowded offensive line group. Do you think they cut Amagaji?
I think once last year when Theo Benedict came along and you got Braxton Jones still, and then they brought in Joe Tooney, that changed. I think that changed the landscape for Amagaji. I think he had a rough start his rookie year, being thrown in there, against Washington, and he didn't look good. And then the injury last year. I just think this year, unless he has one of the most incredible training camps ever, he is a legitimate cut candidate. And I think he's probably going to be cut by the end of the summer.
It's so funny because he's so smart, he's so big, he has all this talent, but somehow it just seems like he doesn't put it all together. And for me, if I'm looking at the handicapping it, even though he is a 3rd-round pick, 6'5", he's the biggest guy, 326. He's the biggest guy. He's strong. He has all those things, but he cannot seem to put it together. I don't know if he's just not ready for NFL talent or the speed or what it is, but it just seems to be something wrong there. And the truth is, Theo Benedict I'm more comfortable with putting him out there than ever putting Kieran Amagaji out there.
Yeah. I still think you brought it up last year that they should probably at least try to move him inside and see what he does inside. But
Amagaji should be a left guard or right guard. But the problem is that they have that guy already there. So why do I need to put you there if I have him? They
got a guy behind him too. Maybe 2 guys behind him.
Like I would rather see Jordan McFadden and Luke Newman.
Right. I mean, McFadden showed against the Rams that he was legit. He had a pretty good game being thrown in there and put Tooney at left tackle. So, like I said, Amagaji, he's gonna have to have like a Hall of Fame type of preseason for him to make this team. I'm just being honest.
No, I agree. I agree. And you probably only keep 9.
Yeah, I would say about 9. About 9.
So
they still have a lot of depth, even with the loss of the center from last year. I already forgot his name.
And which is fine because they were able to pick up Bradbury in free agency, and Logan Jones is doing a great job right now. He seems like he could be. I think he's gonna be the future. I wouldn't be surprised that all of a sudden we see Logan Jones take over center and you hold on to Garrett Bradbury as the backup for the season, and then see if someone else can snap the ball, because if they can, then you have your backup be someone else, and you go ahead and trade Bradbury before a team like the Ravens and they needs someone who's a legitimate starter. But you got to remember, Bradbury played next to Joe Tooney in college, so they have that connection, so that rapport. So the most important thing about offensive line is having a great rapport, having understand each other, know that each other's tendencies, know what they're going to do, know what they're thinking before they know. So if you can have a team that's healthy, the Bears could be much better with that. So no matter what, you need to have someone you feels legitimately going to be stable. Stability is huge.
Right. I mean, if you don't have that camaraderie on the offensive line, then it's going to be problems. It's like musical chair. When it's like we've had seasons where it's been musical chairs at the offensive line position, and it wasn't good. Yeah. So
I feel like this is the one thing. This is there's three places where you are not sure what you're going to get from the depth of the Bears. And if the Bears are going to be great next year, if we're going to be a playoff team, the offensive line has to be the main stability of this team. They have to be able to run the ball. They have to be able to protect Caleb Williams. So, okay, so that's offensive line. What's the next big hole?
Defensive line.
Yeah, there's no question, right? They went into this offseason and they decided not to go ahead, not to sign the defensive end. We had pass rush problems. Montez Sweat had the best year of his career. But you're relying on a progression. You're hoping that Montez Sweat can replicate what he did last year. You're hoping that Austin Booker can take that next step. You're looking at Javon Dexter. Can he put pass rush skills at the 3 technique? You're looking at Shamar Turner, who's not there, who's everyone's saying is still injured and is not ready for this season, and you're hoping that Adeyingbo is going to actually, show up and give pressure, even though he hasn't had a sack in 2 years. Does this sound like a recipe for success?
I mean, like I said, us as Bear fans, we've been asking for a D line for the past. We haven't had probably a good D line since probably 2018.
Yeah,
when Mac and Hicks,
two defensive ends that are going to be able to put pressure.
Yeah. I mean, we haven't had a good D line since 2018. But I think going into this year, going into the draft, we all assumed that if Thieneman doesn't drop, we're going to go D line round 1. That's what my assumption was. Mm-hmm. And like I said, we didn't expect Thieneman to drop that far that he did, and I'm glad we got him. But like I said, for us not to really address the D-line position until the 6th round is crazy to me. And the fact is, we don't know what Jordan Vandenberg is. We don't know what he is. We already was an athletic freak, but we don't know what he is compared with NFL competition.
Yeah, now be the most athletic guy on the defensive line, but that does not mean
you have the technique to get to the quarterback. That don't mean you have the skill set to get to the quarterback. It's just more so of, like I said, I trust Ryan Poles. I trust Ben Johnson's vision, but at the end of the day, if you're going to be a Super Bowl caliber team, you have to address your holes. And D-line has been a hole since it's been a hole since 2018. So, like I said, I feel like I don't know if they got something brewing that they're trying to before at the end of training camp look for some, because they've been notorious for doing that, waiting until after the last preseason game, the cuts and stuff like that to bring on to the team. They've been looking at that, but I mean, you still have maybe 1 or 2 guys out there you could probably take a flyer on, but it's like I said, you cannot go into the season as the same D line as last year and expect to get a better result.
I feel like what Poles is going to do. I think you go into this training camp and you see what they look like first week. If the first week they don't look good, you call Arizona Cardinals.
Was it for Josh Sweat?
You ask for Josh Sweat.
Yeah.
You see if a 3rd round pick or 4th round pick gets you Josh Sweat. So you try that. You look for a guy that's on the trash heap and see if you can lure someone to your team to fix this defensive end, because it just doesn't look good.
Does it?
And I worry all this could be all taken care of if all of a sudden we see Austin Booker become a pass rush specialist, and I still think he's too light. He can't, no matter what, he's not going to be an every down back, every down defensive end. And Dio, I believe, really needs to move inside. We hope that Grady Jarrett is going to have a bounce back year, because he had a terrible year last year. He's a professional and he wants to give us everything he has. I don't know how much he has left in the tank. So Grady Jarrett is going to be interesting. Javon Dexter is who Javon Dexter is.
Go up the field. I mean, he's going to leave a lot of running lanes. I mean, like I said, but he makes up for it. But that's.
Well, his speed, his quickness, and his athletic ability. He's 6'6". A defensive a three technique at that size. He's a pass rusher, and that's not always good when you're trying to stop the run.
Right.
And us now, we're going to have to relying on Grady Jarrett and Neville Gallimore. That's what we're going to have to deal with.
Yeah, I mean, these are not household names. You know what I mean? But it's just like. We just need stability, and we need guys that can consistently get to the run and get to the quarterback, because our back end is stacked. Our back end talent wise is on the up and up. We probably, I'm just saying, going into this year, I think we have the top defensive back, one of the top defensive backfields in the league, potential wise.
Well, here's the issue even with that. Kyler Gordon has to be healthy.
That's a big key factor. Yes.
Yeah. So we play nickel 66% of the time. If Kyler Gordon is not healthy, I don't see us being able to compete there. I think Kobe Bryant was a great signing.
Yeah. Underrated signing.
Well, it's great because we had an all-pro safety, a free safety last year, right? And we decided to let him go, let him walk. He wasn't that expensive, and the grab Kobe Bryant is interesting. I think he's a younger version, and it could be good. And then Dylan Thieneman should be able to figure out the speed of the NFL quickly, and he's going to be that hybrid type of player that could play on the line. But that only works if Kyler Gordon is the other side of the coin, and without Kyler, it kind of all falls apart.
Yeah, it could get ugly.
And I believe that this is going to be a year that Jalen Johnson is going to be able to bounce back. I think he's going to be another shutdown corner. We're going to be reminded about how good he really is. And Tyreek Stevenson is a very similar a cornerback in the same ilk that can also pressure all receivers. Mm-hmm. I'm extremely excited to see what Malik Muhammad is in training. Yeah. Because I could see us going with Muhammad, Stevenson, Terrell Smith. I think he's going to have a great year. I think that in Jalen Johnson, that could be you're too deep at defensive back, at cornerback, and then it's going to be is Dylan Thieneman ready to play safety at a high level there? We'll see. We got Elijah Hicks is going to be his backup, but Elijah Hicks is really a special teamer. So there's just a lot of questions we have for a defense, and how do you say the Bears are going to be, win a lot of games with all those question marks?
I mean, it's gonna. I mean, like I said, the defense has always been interesting, especially with the, with our defensive backfield being as good as it is, and then our linebacker core, T.J. Edwards coming off an injury, and then we have Devin Bush replacing Tremaine Edmonds. Mm-hmm. That's going to be interesting.
Our tight ends, when we're in pass coverage, our linebackers should be good in pass coverage. Yeah. Tremaine Edmonds was supposed to be that guy, but he got beat a lot last year.
I think he was still hurt, kind of. He came off that groin injury. I think that's still because he's playing at an all pro level before he got hurt. He was playing at an all-pro level before he got hurt. And, groin injuries are very tough to come back from, especially because you got the lateral movement, things like that. Mm-hmm. It's tough. And I think, like I said, he's gone now. He's with New York now. But I think Edmonds was playing at a pretty high level until that groin injury happened. That kind of shut a lot of things down. But I think T.J. Edwards coming back from his injury can be our big leader on the defensive side, along with reeling in Devin Bush. You know what I mean?
Well, what do you think about DeMarco Jackson?
I think he may start off the season as a Sam. I think because also, but you can move him in, TJ Edwards' spot till he's fully healthy. I don't know how healthy he's going to be by the time the season starts.
No, he's going to start.
Yeah. So
TJ Edwards is going to start, and that he will be their backup. I think you're a Hippolyte there, but I really believe that you're going to end up with DeMarco Jackson being the backup, and Jack Sanborn is the exact opposite. They're so different in play. DeMarco Jackson is lighter. He's more fluid. He's a quicker type of linebacker, and Jack Sanborn is a prototypical 4-3 bruiser. When you're going to be in your base defense, that's what he is. He's going to make tackles. So that's interesting that he is the backup, because those are two different playing styles.
Do you think Sewell still has a chance to make the team?
I think he makes the team. Yes. I think that this is it. This is it, though. If you can't do something so show that you can play on this level and make tackles, not make mistakes, no mental mistakes, and show that your quickness, because he seems to be so slow of foot. If he can't show that he could do those things, then I think that he won't be on the team next year. This is a big transition year for a lot of players, because the truth is Caleb Williams is going to have to get paid.
Gonna have to. He's earned it.
And that's going to be a problem. Because the other thing is, does Darnell Wright get paid before the season?
He needs to get paid too. He needs to get paid.
Does he figure out a way to go ahead and sign Darnell Wright? But do you go with the right tackle, pay the right tackle, knowing that you don't have a left tackle yet?
That's a good question. In my opinion, I think because Darnell Wright has been such an asset for you, and I think he solidified the right side for you.
Best right tackle in the game right now. They say he's number 4.
And every year he gets better. I think you do solidify that. You do sign one, because my thing is, we don't know as far as Ozzie Trapillo, when he does eventually come back, whether it's the end of this year or next year, that he still can't be the guy. You know what I mean? Because he showed so much progression from early in the training camp last year. They were saying he just wasn't ready to be the left tackle, to being thrown in there because Theo Bennett played so bad. They had to throw him in there to being our anchor.
You gotta stop bleeding, because it was bleeding. Theo could not pass block. It
was bad. It was one move and they're at the quarterback. It's bad. The footing was bad. Everything was bad. So I just think I would get Darnell Wright signed. He's earned it up to this point. And like I said, I think we could focus on the left tackle later, but that all depends on Ozzie Trapillo's recovery. If he comes back as not the same player, then we might have another discussion to have. But I think right now, if you had to ask me right now, what do? You re-sign Darnell Wright as soon as you can.
Okay. Sign to extension. That sounds good. All right. Now, you know how I feel about DJ Moore. Go DJ, because that's my DJ.
My dog.
He's gone. And the question is, if everyone takes a step up. So if Roma Dunze takes a step up. If
Luther Burden
takes a step up. Who's the third wide receiver? Now, so wait, we signed Khalif Raymond, right?
Right.
For a reason. He knows the system. He knows Ben Johnson's system. That's why they brought him in. He's probably the most, he's able. He can play any position. He's like a Swiss Army knife. You can do whatever you need to be done. He can step into. All right, you have him. Cool. You signed Scotty Miller.
Yeah.
You signed Jade Walker. You drafted Xavier Thomas.
Yeah.
Of those guys, who's your third receiver?
I'll go off who I want to be the third receiver, and I'm gonna go with realistically who's gonna be a third receiver. I'm gonna start off with realistically. Realistically, it's gonna be Khalif Raymond. He knows the offense. Ben Johnson trusts him. That's why they signed him. He's gonna be Swiss Army knife, can block. He's going to be your third receiver. That to me is solidified at this moment. Who I want to be the third receiver is Xavier Thomas. I think because
Jade. Okay.
Over Jade, I think Jade's your fourth.
Okay.
I love Jade.
Jade's your fourth. Then you tell me Khalif Raymond, who you think is going to be third, is going to be last. Is going to be a fifth. Does that make any sense?
It doesn't. But like I said, at the end of the day, you can't have too many. I mean, talented receivers. I mean, Jade showed enough progress last year, coming into the first game in the season in a big game against Green Bay in a division game, and he showed out. But I also think too, with the way Xavier
DJ Moore.
yeah. Also too, but I also think with Xavier Thomas, what I've heard about in minicamp, he's flying past people, getting open. His hands are from what I've heard have been excellent. Like I said, I think he has the potential to be our third guy, like another Swiss Army knife for us. Mm-hmm. But like you said, he's a rookie. And Ben Johnson's offense is very complicated. Mm-hmm. And as you saw,
he's going to be good at punt and kickoff return.
Yeah. So I think they're going to start him off there, special team wise, and kind of ease his way in. It may give him a couple packages for him. But I think at the end of the day, I think Khalif Raymond's your third. Mm-hmm. And I think Jade is probably your fourth, with maybe they try to move
Xavier being he has
your hybrid, kind of like your hybrid.
He's the guy you run jet sweeps. He's the guy that you do certain packages with when you're trying to stretch the field. Yeah. I hear. All right. Anthony comes and asks, can you use both tight ends? So double tights would go 12 personnel, or do you offset you're missing in the third wide receiver? Which is a great question. I want to go a step further. I want to know, do we go 13 personnel?
That's three tight ends, right?
Yes. So we go our two number one wide receivers, Roma Dunze. We go Luther Burden, and then we go Loveland, Komet, and Roush.
That I think we do go 13 personnel. I think you have to. I think with Roush, from what I've heard from him, him in minicamp, he's a big dude. He's a dude also. So it's not like he's not some guy just taking a flyer on him. He's a dude. So I think 13 personnel can cause a lot of problems for a defense, especially if all those guys can run routes, all those guys have good hands. You can run multiple packages out of the 13 personnel, multiple plays out of the 13 personnel. So I think they should, and I think they will run it, but it's all going to depend on Roush's understanding of the offense by the time the training camp ends. That's what I think that's going to play a big key role in what's going to happen as far as with 13 personnel is concerned. But I would love it. Honestly, I think they should start off coming out first play of the set, first down, probably 13 personnel, to be honest.
You know why I like 13 personnel? Well, one, because I play tight end.
You tight end guy.
Two, because I think you can put Cole Komet at the Y, because he's an inline Y. It's perfect for it. Mm-hmm. You go ahead and put Colston Loveland at the U, right? He split it out, right? And then you go ahead, you can put Roush at the F. And now you could do so many different things. You could go traditional with a fullback in the backfield, right? With the F. You can make him go in motion. You could put him in, behind the other tight end. So now we could go lead blocking that way. We could go the other side to help with the left tackle. I just love the idea of 13 personnel because Colston Loveland is a monster.
Right.
I think he's a breakout star. I told you, I think Colston Loveland is going to have 1,100 yards and 8 touchdowns this year.
Yeah, I would be surprised. I mean, like I said, he's a. I remember when we picked him, a lot of Bear fans were pissed. They wanted Tyler Warren, and the first 4 or 5 weeks of the season, Tyler Warren. But I think once Loveland got over the injury he had and was able to really understand the offense, and Caleb Williams started to understand that, hey, I got a big guy that can run routes, that can do almost anything on a football field. Let me try to get this guy the ball. You know what I mean? Once that happened, the offense opened up. And you can see, like, people were more, we know how to focus on. We're not focused on DJ. We're not focused on Rome. We're focused on this guy. And that opened up more more open routes for a Luther Burden, a DJ Moore, and a Roma Dunze, because now defenses were paying more attention to Coastal Lovely. They're gonna do the same thing this year again.
I agree. So he ended up with 713 yards in the regular season. He had almost another 200 yards in the playoffs. So he almost had 1,000 yards if you combine the playoffs and regular season. I think he's going to have 1,100 yards off the bat because he didn't play the first couple of games. He only played in spots.
And that's crazy because he got the 700 yards at the back half.
Yeah.
That wasn't even the first 6-7 weeks. That was at the back half. And he got 700 yards. If he was all in from the first week to the end, he probably had 1,100 yards last year. So, like I said, prediction's not far off because of what we've seen, the potential wise with him. All it is just staying healthy.
So, the first game of the year, he had 2 receptions, 2 targets for 12 yards. Then he had 0 against 1 target against Detroit, right?
Yeah.
Then he had one reception and 3 targets against Dallas. He had 2 receptions and 3 targets against Washington. Then he had 3 receptions, 4 targets against New Orleans. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 games he had 6, 9, 13 targets in the first 6 games.
That's gonna be that might be 35 before week 4 this year.
100%, 100%, and that's where I get my number from, because all of a sudden after that he started getting 5, 7, 8, 9 targets, and he started picking it up and putting it down. So I'm excited to see what Coastal Lovely can do this year.
Yeah.
All right. Anthony says, "Who's calling the plays, your OC or your head coach?" Hey, Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson's calling every play. The OC is literally just getting things together. A person he could bounce ideas off of to make sure they're in the right personnel. Where the thing about Ben Johnson, you can call any play you want. He just likes to be able to mix up the personnel group. So the idea of it, you can go from explode left to I right, or you can go explode left to twins right. Like, you can do all type of things with the same personnel. He can do whatever he wants. And I think the real hidden gem in our offense, and we've been talking about trading them for years, I think it's DeAndre Swift.
Yeah, he's a Swiss Army knife himself too.
Exactly. He could go out there, he can catch passes, he can run, as long as he runs inside. I hope the loss of Airbnb doesn't change his style.
Yeah, because if he goes back to what he did in 24.
Bro, but when he was with Airbnb, he was a monster. Does he go back to that? I don't know. I hope he still continues to run north and south, get up and down, because if he does that, then we can have another monster year out DeAndre Swift. And him with Kyle Monangai, it works. It literally works. And I'm hoping that we get another season in that ilk. Okay.
Yeah.
Here's my last question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Do you believe in the Madden curse?
Unfortunately, yes. That's why when the Madden cover came out, I was pissed. Like, I was just like, if I was kid, I would have said, hell no, I'm good. But at the end of the day, I mean, football is football. I mean, you have to understand that things happen. I'm not gonna go sit up here and be like, oh, it's a Madden, it's gonna be cursed. But I don't want this to be a cop out, because I think this is a big year for him.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is a big year for his development. Year number 2 under Ben Johnson's offense. Are you going to step up more as a leader now? Because, like I said, everybody's looking at you now. This ain't just your lowly Bears anymore. They're expected to be at the top of fighting for the top of the division now.
Yeah, this division might be the most competitive division in all football.
Right. And now you got Minnesota, who I do think, I don't know if you said this before, they got Kyler Murray now. That could be that's an underrated move right there. People are writing off Kyler Murray thinking that he's done. He has weapons now.
He has weapons in Call of Duty, and they're hoping that's what happens.
But the Packers, they're gonna get Micah Parsons back. You know what I mean? That defense is still gonna be decent enough.
I don't think we get Micah Parsons until week 8.
I think that's still going to be, whenever he does come back, he's going to be an impact at some sort of way.
100%, yeah.
100%. And Detroit is still Detroit, so you still have to. I still hate Green Bay, but I do not like Amon-Ra St. Brown. I do not like him. So for him, he's been talking crazy since the year ended. So I think with that, I think we have another year we have to prove ourselves, because they could say that's a fluke year last year, and we got lucky with all the late game wins and things like that. We shouldn't have got as far as we did. But now, like I said, I think Caleb has to understand that this is really a big year for him, let alone the team. So I believe in him, but like I said, at the end of the day, if you exit all that out and your mental exit all that stuff out, then you just focus on the task at hand. Then we can win some games. I'm not worried about it.
Okay. All right, I got a couple of free agents I wanted you to talk about. I want you to just give me one phrase answers to each one of these names. Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna give you a name. I want you to either say there's a chance the Bears sign him,
or no chance.
No chance that the Bears sign him, or I'll love it, but it's probably no chance.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Taylor Decker, Pro Bowl free agent from the Detroit Lions. You know, you can bring him in late if you see your left tackle thing and you don't believe in it. Do you think that the Bears will reach out to Taylor Decker?
Chance. I would say a chance, but because of the history between him and Ben Johnson, I think that's I think they at least kicked the tires with him. That's say they sign him.
Can you kick the tires with someone in training camp?
Yeah, you definitely can. Bring him in, see the facility, do a couple workouts with him. I think, yeah, you kick tires from the training camp. I would love. I mean, like I said, I was just say chance right now. I'll say chance. So
chance, and you hope that chance. That's what you do.
Yeah, kind of like I'm hoping, but realistically, I think they like what they have at the moment right now.
Okay. I'm gonna go with another guy off the board. Keenan Allen.
No chance.
No chance.
That ship has sailed. He's 30, gonna be 35 this year.
Mm-hmm.
You're trying to bring up
33, 34.
Yeah. You have young receivers. If you were to bring him in, you should never got rid of DJ Moore, to be honest, because DJ Moore's younger than him. And like I said, I think he's a good leader for that group.
Got second round pick for DJ.
You did. But like I said, I mean, we could have drafted defensive lineman, but whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah.
All right. Then let's talk about our next person be a defensive lineman. Jadeveon Clowney.
Okay. I for this team, I like it. Did they kick the tires and take a chance on him? Hell no. Because I don't think that happens. I'm just saying, for this team, I think he could be an asset for us. I mean, just something that can at least give a break for Austin Booker. You don't need him for every day down. You don't need him for every down. But I think he can be someone of usage in some type of package for him, especially at his age. But like I said, at the end of the day, I don't see us really doing it. I'll be shocked if that was to be a possibility. I'll be shocked.
All right. I'm going to give you 3 names.
Go ahead.
Stephon Diggs.
No chance.
No chance, yeah. Okay. Tyreek Hill.
Double no chance.
Von Miller.
Y'all say this. I'm not gonna say no chance in hell for Von Miller, but I am gonna say this though. If we're in the thick of things in December, going into the playoffs, and Von Miller is out there, I think we could kick the tires with him just for a playoff run. I would love if it worked out that way. I think we can bring him in for a playoff run. But as far as early this season, no.
I don't think you could bring him in and task him to get right with his team in the middle of the season. Same thing I'd say about Kyle Van Noy. I don't think you can bring someone in the middle of the season and think that's going to work.
Yeah.
But I'll be really interested in seeing Von Miller. I really would.
I don't know. I don't even know if he have anything left in the tank.
Von Miller?
Yeah. I don't know.
He was good last year, man.
He was good, but
he was the only bright spot in Washington.
Yeah, there was a lot of bad spots in Washington last year. That was awful. But man, I mean, like I said, if we could, I mean, if they would kick the tires on him, like I think you can't go wrong. He's a future Hall of Famer. If he and I think with this defense, I mean, if he can give us 8-9 sacks, I think that's a plus.
That's not a plus. That's the best that we get.
That's the best we can get.
Never.
We get us 8 to 9 sacks, man, to give him the ghost of Von Miller, we'd be okay.
If we had got 8 or 9 sacks going from the other end, defensive end, I'm calling playoffs. Playoffs, yes, 100%.
Of course.
Would you get Joe Mixon a cheap deal as a third string?
No.
I think he's done.
Done.
You know, but do you are you still going with Roschon Johnson? Do you still think that
that's another if? He can't stay healthy. He just can't stay healthy. I mean, and then it was weird before he got hurt. I don't think Bieniemy really liked him that much because he was barely getting any time when he was healthy. So I think this is his last opportunity as well.
There's a lot of guys on this team that have
they're on their last leg on this roster. I mean, they kind of worn out their welcome. I mean, especially guys that have injury problems that we've taken a chance on. I mean,
Smart Turner last year,
man.
You know, I'm looking at Javon Dexter. You might be on your last one. Grady Jarrett, you might be on your last one, bro.
Done. I think he might be washed. I'm gonna be honest.
I'm a Gaji. You might be done, bro.
I told you he gonna need a Hall of Fame training camp, man. He gonna need a Hall of Fame training camp for sure.
Yeah, I think Roschon is in that same ilk. You might be done, guy. You might be done.
Yeah. So,
what up, True Pilgrim? Peace and love, Bears fam. I'm like, hey, glad you're here, man. We're glad you're here because we're just going through all the things that we're going to expect for this training camp. I'm so excited about seeing what this team could be. I feel like we're a team full of opportunity, but we're also a team with some holes that don't have definitive answers for it. And Ben Johnson's going to have to coach his butt off to get this team ready.
He meant Dennis Allen. Dennis Allen, big year for him.
He got the guys he wanted, the guys that fit his system better for him, that he thinks it works. And he has to show that he can play, he could coach these guys, and it will work. I mean, because we have a tough schedule. Oh, I mean, it's
Carolina's no easy. That ain't no easy win. That's gonna be tough. And their defense got better. That's first game of the year.
I'm still going with Carolina. I'm still with a win for Carolina.
I'll be at the Minnesota game. So I that's something I think that's a winnable game as well. But we're gonna have to keep Kyler Murray in the pocket. Philly, that's gonna be a tough one because they Vic Fangio's defense. We know him very, very well. That's gonna be tough.
The Bears beat them last year, so
they're looking for blood. So that's gonna be tough. Who else we got after that?
The Jets.
Okay,
if we lose to the Jets, this will be a real tough.
This might be. We might have to make some phone calls to Alice Hall, man, if we lose to the Jets.
Well, so week 5 we go against the Packers, right? I believe Michael Parsons won't be in that game.
That was going to be a winnable game regardless. It's a winnable game. It's going to be a tough game, but it's rivalry games are tough. But I think that's a winnable game in Green Bay.
All games against Green Bay.
All games are winnable. Yeah,
winnable. All right, now we go against the Falcons.
I think with the new coaching staff down there, they're going to play hard. I think
they were terrible. I don't want to expect a lot of wins from Falcons right now at all. I know everyone else thinks that they're going to be 8-9 wins. I don't think they're going to get a lot of wins at all.
Even with Michael Penix coming back,
it does, bro. It don't matter what's going on. Penix could be out there. Tua could be out there. It don't matter who's out there throwing the damn ball.
Yeah.
Then you got the Patriots. This is when you start getting tough, right?
That's gonna be tough because I know
Patriots, Seahawks.
That's
Buccaneers.
A loss. That's gonna be tough. That's gonna be those 3 games gonna be really, really tough. And it's gonna be hard to win this. Even though Bear fans travel well, it's gonna be hard to win in Seattle. Especially if you can't get no pressure on Sam Darnold.
Sure, bro. That's gonna be tough. Then we come back and play the Saints, who might not be the Aints. They might be okay.
Well, that quarterback down there played pretty well.
Chuck should chuck that ball all around the corner, around the field.
Yeah.
Pilgrim says, this team is stacked in my opinion, except on the D-line. I am still worried there. True Pilgrim, I'm still worried at left tackle too. Those are my 2 places. defensive end, left tackle. But if they fall apart in any of those positions,
it's gonna be a long
offense
year.
can fall apart and defense can fall apart. And the fact that you didn't try to repair that or figure out that position, you're doing with parts that you already had, doesn't feel good. Yeah. Those are our worries. All right, so now we go Lions, Jags.
Tough.
Then the Dolphins coming to town. Good Dolphins.
Okay. Yeah.
But right to the Dolphins, listen to this. Bills,
Loss.
Packers,
Tough.
Lions,
Tough. I mean, like
in the season, Bills, Packers, Lions, Vikings.
Bills are going to be tough because you got DJ Moore's going to be trying to have a breakout game.
Mm-hmm.
I already know he's going to try to have a breakout game. You're going to have probably a CJ Gardner-Johnson who's also over there. He's probably going to be trying to get that defense wild up.
Oh, I'm throwing that CJ all day. I'm throwing that CJ all day.
Yeah, but I think DJ's gonna be having one of those games, man. They're gonna try to feed him the ball against us, so that's gonna be ugly.
And you got to still deal with Josh Allen.
Yeah,
that man child over there. So
and you got to deal with running back.
Yeah, no, and one of the best running backs with James Cook in the NFL. So that's problematic. Just the whole thing. You have to try to outscore them. Then you say Bills, Packers, Lions, Vikings. Ugh. Yeah. And you know when we play the Packers?
Christmas, right?
Our Christmas gift.
Yeah, we'll be up early that morning, man.
Yeah,
that's gonna be rough because I'm gonna be up that morning. I don't want my Christmas ruined at all. And like I said, so looking forward to it though this year. I'm really looking forward to it.
If I'm honest, if I'm truly honest, I think the Bears win 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That 9 and a possible is where I'm really at. I'm gonna pick 10 wins, but 9 and a possible.
With this schedule,
this schedule is tough.
It's just gauntlet. It's a gauntlet, man. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. We had a tough schedule last year, to be honest, though.
Mm-hmm.
I think we had a tough schedule last year.
I think we could. This is a team that could go. Can I see the Bears being 3-1 in the first 4? Yes.
I can see them being 2-2 also.
Well, I mean, I think that they beat the Jets. I can see them beating the Vikings. I can see them beat the Panthers.
I see them beating the Eagles though.
I can see if they win, beat the Eagles at 4-0. You know, yeah. But then you go Packers, Falcons, Patriots, Seahawks. I think they'll go 2-2 during that.
We're doing 2-2, so there will be 6-2.
6-2 if it's great. I think we're probably close to
5-3. 5-3.
5-3 is where I'm thinking. I'm thinking about 5-3 there, and then
Are they in Jacksonville or at home against Jacksonville?
They are in
They're in Jacksonville?
No, they are Jacksonville. They're in Jacksonville, yeah.
Yeah, that might be a loss.
So now we're looking at, as I said, Lions, Jags, Dolphins, Bills.
The Lions game, is that first Lions game is at home or away?
That's the second. That's the first Lions game is, I believe, is at home. First Lions game's at home, yeah. Oof, I think we could go 2-2 there.
We go 2-2, but that's going to be that's pushing. We
so
might.
Now,
I'll be honest.
That's 7-5, right? That's 7-5.
Yeah.
And then you have to figure out these last games because
Green Bay. You said Green Bay,
Bills, Packers, Lions, Vikings.
Those last 4 games are going to dictate if we make the playoffs or not. Yeah. I'm just going to be honest.
Yeah,
that's going to dictate. Pilgrim says 11 wins, so I can see it, but it's going to depend on 3 things. We just talked about it earlier before you got on, Pilgrim. Kyler Gordon's health, D-line,
yep,
left tackle. Them the 3 main things that if we can get those solidified, we have a chance to win 11, 12 games. If one of those 3 things are not solidified, we could probably win only 8, if that, depending on how the season unfolds. But those are the three main factors, that the three question marks going into the year. If we get those things solidified, then we could be a good team. And then who knows, if coming around trade deadline, teams are filling off the rails, they want to get rid of some guys and get draft capital, then we can pick up a DN there, and then we're cooking with grease then. You know what I mean? So I mean, anything can happen, but I think right now the main thing is just we have to start out fast. We gotta go to Carolina, and we have to make a statement in Carolina.
Cannot lose any of these games. You can't give up any of these games. I'm between 9 and 10 games. I'm going to say 10, but Vegas odds saying 9.5. That's right on.
It's a gauntlet.
Yeah,
it's truly a gauntlet, man.
I think this team is really good, but they have some real tough games. Seattle's going to be a tough game. The
Patriots
going to be a tough game. Patriots going to be a tough game. Buccaneers are going to be a tough game. Can all four of those teams win their division? Yes. So I don't think you realize how talented the team is, especially on offense.
We're talented, but we're young. So it's not. I think
pressure points. You have points. So, like as I said, they have to. Left tackle has to be solidified.
Right.
So if Braxton Jones is that dude, or Jedrick Willis takes over, if we're good at left tackle, offense is going to be really, really good, and I think we can average 30 points a game. That's how good I think we are. If left tackle's there, and that's why I say if left tackle's not good, you need to go get Taylor Decker and let him play left tackle.
I think after the first preseason game or the second preseason game, that'll tell you if we're gonna. I think that'll tell you if we need a left tackle or not. I'm gonna be honest. I don't want to wait. We need to figure that out. I mean, the practices could take once we get the pads on, but I think it shouldn't. We should know way before the season starts that this might be a problem, because if Braxton Jones comes out the gate,
joint practices that we have, I think it's like August 20th and 27th. Those are going to be the most important things for me for left tackle. If they are getting dominated by another team in practice during those games, that's when you say, okay, we got to make a change. Because I think that they are talented on offense. I think that Caleb is having the next year, he can have another step. I think we have good running backs. I think we can go 13, 12, 11 personnel, no matter what it is, because our Titans are that good. I think wide receivers is very talented and have things that fit. But I worry about left tackle.
Yeah.
Here's the thing about even Ozzie. I'm telling you, I don't know if he plays again this season.
That patella tendon is nothing to play with. You're gonna have to heal. Then you got to find your confidence in moving the knee. That's the biggest hurdle when you have coming off an injury, is having the confidence to say, when I make certain movements, I can make these same moves I made before the injury. If you're constantly thinking about the injury, which Braxton Jones said last year that he was constantly thinking about the injury, and that's caused him to overthink. So not only the physical part plays a key role, but the mental part plays a huge role. If Ozzie feels that he's good, then by all means, we get the ball rolling. But if he feels like I'm healthy, but I don't trust it, that's another issue you're gonna have to run into with when Ozzie comes back. So, like I said, that leads to your point. It's gonna be tough. Like you said, we trust Braxton, but we didn't trust him last year. Obviously, but
once again, he was going through the same thing that Ozzie was.
Same thing Ozzie about to go through.
Right. Not trusting your leg, not trusting that you could push off. He was, every time he hit the ground, he was limping a little bit. He was trying to push and be there for us. So this is why I'm not up in arms about Braxton Jones returning. I think that he understands the system. I think he has the talent. And if he's strong enough and can deal with all the pass rush and the bull rushes, then Braxton should be okay. And Theo Benedict will be the backup. He'll be that swing tackle. And we'll see what he has.
Yeah.
So I'm interested in that. I do worry about the defensive line, as we talked about. And we got to stay healthy in defensive backfield. Because as good as we were last year, when we got injured, it was all over.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I mean, like I said, we were in a lot of those games last year. I think, but like I said, our defense could have been way better. If everybody was healthy, our defense would have been. I think our defense could have been top 15, top 10. I think with all the injuries, we were at last we were last in run defense or around the bottom 5 in run defense, and
Yeah.
our pass defense was like and our pass defense was like middle of the pack because Jalen Johnson was hurt most of the year. Kyler Gordon was hurt most of the year. But like I said, when everybody was healthy, you saw against the Rams. Like in the divisional round, when everybody was clicking on all cylinders, how good our defense was. I know the weather played a key role in that with the Rams,
Dude, you
but
gotta win the games.
yeah,
Win the games.
Yeah,
they just won the game. At the end of the day, that's what it was.
Yeah. So, like I said, I mean, the sky's the limit for this team. But like I said, those 3 things I said earlier, those are the big key factors. If we're going to be an 11-win team, or we're going to be between a 7, 8, and 9-win team. Point blank. Period.
I'm getting to a point where I think Caleb Williams is strong enough that he could get us to at least 8 wins. Between him and all the talent we have on offense, I think that we could be a total offensive juggernaut and get 8 wins. You know, and now the question is, the defense going to be good enough to get us 2 more? Just 10. Yeah, I think that we're going to be very much like 3-3 in the division. But can we surprise somebody and beat Vikings twice? Can we beat Packers twice because we get them early?
Can we beat the Eagles? Can we beat the Patriots? Can we go into Seattle and sneak one in there? We have the potential to. Will we? I don't think so. But I think we go in there. You go in there knowing that, hey, anything can happen. We're clicking all cylinders on the offensive side of the ball. We can win this game. So,
True Pilgrim says, I really feel like our defense turned a corner in that Rams game. It's a different team.
Yeah, I mean, Edmonds is gone. I think Edwards wasn't playing either that game.
Billings is gone.
But like you said,
our safety room is totally different.
Yeah.
You know, man, Kobe Bryant is amazing, but Thieneman is going to take some time to figure out how to play in the NFL. There's some things that we're going to have to figure out.
I still, as much as I wanted us to keep Brisker, and I thought Kobe Bryant and Brisker would have been a good tandem. But like I said, I mean, we made a decision. I think Thieneman, him being a rookie, that's going to be a little bit of a challenge. Like you said, facing NFL speed. But if he can work hard and get himself up to speed. Like I said, the sky's the limit for the secondary. Sky's the limit, but we have to get pressure on the quarterback. That's what matters. Every time that we've had really good defenses, we got pressure on the quarterback.
It makes our entire defensive backs look better when you get pressure on them. Mm-hmm. All right. So, if you're a betting man, how many wins you think you saying? Because True Pilgrim said 11, I said 10. Where are you?
I'm at 10.
Okay.
I'm at 10. I don't want to be too not as optimistic, like saying 8 or 9. I'm gonna say 10. I think with the potential that we have, we can get 10 games. It just all depends on the factors that we mentioned before.
Okay. And do we make the playoffs?
Yes. I think.
Do we win the division?
I think that's what I said. That's my next part. I think we win the division, though. I think we still win the division. I think we're gonna get a home playoff game again. Matter of fact, I think we get 2 of them, like we did last year.
Okay. I like it. I like your optimism. I like what we're hearing here. I just want them to follow through. My Bears, I'll be there regardless. Rooting for them and breaking down every play and being totally engaged in everything. But to win the division, I think we need more than 10 wins.
Of course.
Hey, look at the schedule again. I want to change it to 12 wins. So 12 wins means you get 5 losses. So you're talking about maybe what? Bills,
Jacksonville, probably.
No, Seattle.
I'm saying Jacksonville.
Jacksonville could be one. That could be one.
Did you say New England?
I think we beat New England.
I think we beat Tampa though too.
Okay. And I think we could have 3 losses. I think we get 3 losses in the division. That's where
So you split it. We split every one then, basically.
Yeah. Well, no. Yeah. So, okay. I can see 10. I still say 10. I don't know.
Mhm.
What up, Foster? Yeah, he says, hope everyone is well. I think we're gonna have them winning 12. That's gonna be great. You know, that means we beat the Eagles, right?
Yeah.
We beat the Buccaneers.
Yep.
We beat Jacksonville. You know, I think that the hardest games are going to be our in-division games still.
Yeah. Like I said, Detroit gave us hell last year.
Oh, if there's one team that I want to sweep, it's Detroit.
Yeah, they've been cocky. I got a couple friends from Detroit, man. They've been talking crazy. I think it's time that we need to put them back where they belong. At the bottom of the barrel.
I want to see the offensive and defensive coordinator call plays and get them in and win. I still think they're hurt by that. I don't think they have the guys, the coaches to do it. They got the horses, they got the monsters, but they don't have the coaching staff. That's what I worry about with them. And I think that's what's going to hurt them. And I think that's what we're going to beat them.
Right.
Okay. All right, guys. Well, training camp is coming, man. So we have to go get ready. I cannot wait to break it down. We're going to head out to the training camp and check out a couple of practices. I have a couple of friends that actually were on this squad this past summer and dealing with some of the rookie camp and all that stuff. And see if we can maybe we'll do an interview or two. You think we might maybe do that and then kind of get ready for the season and see where we could go from here. I am so excited for this. I am glad. I know that you are excited for this season. Dude, this football is here. So the Hall of Fame game is in 2 weeks.
Yeah,
we're here. We're there right now. It's ready to go. Let's go. Bears all the way. Bear down, fam. And we're going to surprise the NFL with the toughest schedule. Doesn't matter.
Of course. I'm praying for it, for sure.
All right. Well, guys, we'll be back here next week because now we took off our 4 weeks. We're back and we're going to be better than ever. Next Tuesday, bear down. We'll see you guys later. Peace, love. Love you guys. Peace.
Peace. Bear down.
We the Bears, monsters of the Midway, knocking teams out every Sunday. Fire in our eyes, can't stop our drive. Hit so hard, remind you of 85. We the Bears, monsters of the Midway, knocking teams out every Sunday. Fire in our eyes, can't stop our drive. Hit so